I want to sort of summarize some of the very practical things we heard today. Training. First thing is training. Conduct training for coaches, assistant coaches, and athletes on abuse. What it looks like, what the lines are, how to spot it, and so people know that they can talk about it and know that it exists. Training. Second, have a process. It's not the job of whistleblowers or survivors to do this alone. There must be a process in place, and the process needs to be clear. That process needs to be protective, so victim-centered. Many of the whistleblowers and victims put themselves at risk, so they need dedicated support to make sure that they're safe. So that idea of switching the paradigm of what's the institution need to what do they need? What's the person who's reported, what do they need right now? Safety, security, money if they're isolated, what have you. Transparent. Survivors need to know what's going on and be kept up to date, right? Because they're taking a risk and they've been traumatized. So they need to know what's going on. Third, long-term support. You need people to help you do that. And that can look in a variety of different ways. It can be emotional support, psychological support, what have you. It can also be financial. Investigative. Going forward, you can't rely on victims to find out or whistleblowers to find out about abuse. You need to find a process that can take these issues on before they get out of control. So when you first get that report and it was mentioned, treat it as probably the wrong way, a gift, right? But it is absolutely, you're fortunate to get those first reports, because left unabated and unaddressed, it will get much, much, much worse, existentially worse. Third point, take it seriously and listen. They're telling you something you need to know, and in doing so, they'll give you the opportunity to do something about it. That was just mentioned. And final, two final things, independence. Policies and processes are useless if they're not independent. Put a wall between the politics or the personalities and the victims. So this is very, very important, so the victims do feel safe. Whistleblowers do feel safe from retribution. So that's incredibly important. And then finally, safeguarding. Dedicated capacity, and this is the Kazan Action Plan 16.2, talks all about it. Safeguarding. Dedicated capacity towards safeguarding, identifying early warning signs, training coaches, caring for people, and training others.